Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all? Thank God it's Monday, right? Thank God it's Monday. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for everybody that's going to hear this message and see this message tonight. We just ask that the Lord, as there's something that we said tonight, here's y'all's heart tonight, here's y'all's mirror, here's y'all's thought process. And maybe we'll have a aha moment tonight, right? When we get started now, over here, because I'll keep on jamming like we'll keep on going. Yeah, man. Check it out, man. Go up there on Facebook page, man. The Make It Happen Ministries, tag on, get in there, get the alerts. Go on Big G's Ministries, get on there, subscribe, hit the alert button, hand us out, share us. You know, something that was said when you're watching, just please just get it out there, because I know there's somebody in the world that needs to hear what we say, right? Yeah. Hey, we just thank y'all for tuning in, man. Look, we got a good one for y'all tonight. We got a really, really good one for y'all. I ain't gonna lie, it took like 2 weeks to make this up because I know we missed last week, right? Hey, man, it happens. Life happens, right? And we can't always, even though we're always ready and we stay ready. It's just sometimes, man, we get prepared for nothing. You gotta understand that, right?
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah, things happen when they see who tapped in tonight. Momo.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, number one fan. That's our number one fan right there. Love you, Mom. Hopefully Dad can tap in now that he's got the phone. But look, man, just we're gonna spend the next few minutes just talking about what has actually came into our lives and how we dealt with an issue. Or sometimes it's not always a bad issue. It's just one of those times where, man, like explosion goes off, like that's really where it's at. That's really where it's at. And tonight we titled this message, Keep Your Spouse Wanting More. And it's not just sex.
No.
It's just not sex.
Of course, you want to keep them wanting more there, but
yes, got to.
Not just about that. No.
Right. And but wanting more, and this particular time last week I put in a lot of hours over there at my 9 to 5, and one of those days I came home and Tiffany had my hot plate, and while I was there eating my hot plate, I think we were already finished. She was picking up the dishes, and all of a sudden she laid her hands on me. And mind you, this particular evening I was hurting from the bottom of my cranium down to my toes. I don't know what it was, but just the sensation of her hands being put at that specific moment when I didn't ask, something overcame me that was released just from your touch. And let me tell you, at that instant moment, I was pain free. And what I'm getting at is that we have to realize, guys, look, we got to realize those moments that actually spark up, like, man, this is why I'm with you. Wow, I'm getting sensitive. Because you want to find them moments in your day. You want to find them moments in your week, in your month, in your years that goes by. What triggers the man, I just want more of you. I just want more of you. We see on TikTok, and because we're all over social media, we see old older couples in their 80s and 90s, and some of them, they're out there, they're jamming, they're jumping, they doing a twist, and they just having a time of their lives. And we see these things. We see these things in our marriage, and it's like, man, that's why we keep running to each other. We just want more. Yeah. Just, oh my God.
So yeah, it's important. I think too many times we take those small little nudges for granted.
Right. Yeah.
On the giving and the receiving side.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, like, it's funny that he talks about it in such a way like that, because that morning it was like a aha moment, or like a memorizing moment for me. Like, man, that little touch right there, how that touch feels.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I do. Like, that's what, my inner man, my spirit was telling me, like, how that touch feels. That's like one of those touches that you can't get from nowhere else.
Right.
Like, you should always be giving out that type of touch,
yes.
Or even if it's a verbal communication, always be giving that out to your spouse.
Yes.
Because if you're lacking in that area, it could be easily picked up somewhere else.
Right.
So
to explain the touch, it is a form of energy.
Right, a form of energy.
Let's just put it up there, because we got a little deal on that says, check it out.
Right.
What kind of energy are you giving?
Right.
Good or bad? At that moment in time, guys, it was a good energy that was released from her hands to on my shoulders, and that energy like disintegrated the pain that I was having. It automatically, if we can just literally, I know some of y'all guys that are listening, y'all understand what I'm talking about, because look, when there is a good, strong, healthy marriage going on, there is good, positive, strong, motivated, genuine love that is created into energy. And when you carrying this big ball of energy, you can actually light up the room. When you just build this aura of positive energy, and we've noticed so many times that when we come into a place and there's negative inside of I'll just say for the job, the 9 to 5, when I go to work, you can still feel the sense of bad energy in there. It's so suffocating. It's tense. It's there's a problem within the job that is affected and taking over the atmosphere. Guess what? When I enter the door, I want my energy to be released, to feel the atmosphere of where I'm working at, to see the atmosphere and the people there that I'm working with change. You can see a significant change within the marriage. That day when I was feeling pain from my neck to my heels, the energy that my wife was creating, or let me say this, the energy that she possessed at that given point was so powerful, guys. Look, listen to me. It was so powerful that when she touched me, she released power to disintegrate the pain that I was having from my neck to my heels. I have chronic pain every day, and she literally, massages my back every day. This is another circumstance of good or bad energy, that when I come home, I've had a rough day at work dealing with the community. Retail, you can have ups and downs, but you can have more downs than ups. And I could come home with this manifested negative energy. And I have noticed that when I have come home with this energy, because I'm so just drained out from the day, mentally and physically, when I enter my house, guys, the energy that my wife has created in our own home, as soon as I walk through the door, guys, I can feel the sense of release. The sense of release. And look, it can be bad energy too, because there's been times where I've come home upset. Me and my boss got into it. Come home and I don't receive the positive energy because I put my guard up. I put my guard up to where I wanted to stay mad because of what was said and done at work. It could be bad too. The question is, what kind of energy are you giving? What kind of energy are you giving?
That's good. What kind of energy are you giving?
Yeah.
Like, you got to understand the energy that you give is going to multiply. You know, if, like he was saying, he comes home from the bad days, work, and he's got that negative energy coming off, pretty soon it's going to rub off on you more than likely, or maybe you've already got that negative energy going too. And so you're giving off your negative energy, nagging or whatever it is about your day and complaining, or just having a little attitude.
Got to talk
and
about
he's
it.
Already up here, to his head because of what happened at work. So you both got this bad energy, and when you collide, that just creates more of a obstruction, an explosion, and it's just an explosion of bad energy. And what happens then? An argument, or someone walks off, or maybe leaves the house to go. I know back in the day, he's mad, I'm mad, he'd leave, go out drinking, whatever. Maybe some of you guys still go through that.
Yeah, right.
But the good energy, come on, we want to multiply that, because if I can try my best to make a peaceful atmosphere for him to come home, I know he's going to need to unwind from his day. Let him do that, like create that peaceful atmosphere. And then it's important for him, the short drive that he has, to clear his mind a little bit from whatever happened. And if he can't, then at least talk to me about it and not blow up about it over maybe a little comment I made or something.
That's good.
So create the good energy so you can have an explosion of nothing but goodness and excitement. So that way you guys can just get through what you need to get through, because nobody wants to get through it fighting and arguing. So be like it says in the scripture, God says, God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. So what are you multiplying?
Animosity.
What are you multiplying?
Arguments about the same old thing. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's because this is a real one. Well, you said you got off at 5 and here it is 6:30. It'll show up in the paycheck. Like, give it time. Don't just blow up. What are we multiplying on a daily? On a daily, guys, what are we multiplying? Fruitful and multiplying. I want to cover the fruitful part because I know we did it in prior podcasts, but what type of fruit are you producing? Is it love? Is it type of fruit? Is it love? Is it gentle? Is it meek? Is it patient? Is it long suffering? Is it pride? We want to talk in such a way, guys, that it is releasing somebody from their hell. Can I just say that? Because when I was going through hell last week because of the days that I was having at work, my wife just came and just as simple as laying her hands on me. The touch wasn't even a massage. She was just a rubber. She rubbed her arms on her hands on my shoulder and the back of my cranium in the head and stuff like that, and all of a sudden the pain dissipates. We cannot make this up, guys.
Take it like this.
We cannot make this up. Yeah.
What are the ingredients?
Yes.
You know, think about it as a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to have certain ingredients to make a cake.
Right.
You say a cake. You have to have all the ingredients to make a cake.
That's good. Yes.
Are you coming to the table with all the ingredients that you need?
Come on.
For that cake? For it to become a good cake? Are they all good ingredients? Or are some of them rotten ingredients? Is it spoiled milk that you're trying to put in that cake?
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
Or are you lacking an ingredient?
Right.
What are you lacking? We kind of touched on this. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but I know for affection, for some it's hard to give affection because of something that they've been through in their past.
Right.
You know, they don't know how to receive the affection, and sometimes they don't know how to give affection.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Learn to figure out why it is, what happened in the past that made you block off that emotion of affection, because affection is very important.
Yes, it is.
You have to give your spouse affection every day.
Every day.
And if you can't do it and if you can't receive it, that's another big problem.
Right.
But if you can't give it, come on, guys. It was a big one for me. It was hard for me both ways, to receive and to give it. Because for one, I didn't know how.
Right.
And then just certain things that happened to me, I was not able to open up to my husband in such a way that you're supposed to be fully open.
Yes. Yes.
When you get married to somebody, you need to make yourself so vulnerable to that person.
Yes.
And open up in such a way because if you can't, how are they ever going to know the ingredients?
Right.
The right ingredients.
Yes.
To get you going.
Right.
To get you through your day.
Right.
To get you through the next year.
Yes. Right.
So it's all a recipe.
All a recipe, knowing too the love languages and just all kinds of stuff, and that's what we're here for. Every Monday night, trying to help not only y'all but us guys too, because we played the videos over, and it's like, man, where did that come from? You know, we've been doing that. Oh, we ain't been doing that, but this stuff comes in handy. And just to give back, because the affection part, it really plays a role in your marriage. Affection also plays role with your kids and grandbabies, and how you're affectionate with your job and all of this stuff. Do you treat the employees right? Your leadership, all these things. It goes a long way, but somehow or another, that ingredient of an affection is not there, because we were given a bad taste probably last year, maybe when we were 10 years old, maybe when we were 15 years old, 20 years old. Something happened that broke and took away that ingredient that we need of affection. And so when it comes time to give it, be affectionate with the significant other, we have these snapshots of what happened to us back in the day that kind of affects the affectionate part, the ingredient that we need for each other. And so somehow or another, guys, we have to believe that there is a higher power to release us from that bondage that we are imprisoned. We are actually imprisoned in our mind by what happened years ago. Why do we want to be in prison in our own mind? We have to give release.
And you have to talk about it with your spouse, because if your spouse don't understand what's going on, how are they supposed to help you? There were certain things that I had to tell my husband that I thought I was never going to tell anybody.
Yeah. Ever. Right. Yeah.
but I had to release.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know what was going on with me, he didn't know why I was closed off in that type of way.
Right.
Until I told him, and then he was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
He says, "You don't," and he had to make me realize you don't have to feel like that. That was not your fault that happened to you.
Right.
So,
it's tough.
Let go of what happened and open up to your spouse. Be vulnerable with your spouse. It
wasn't your fault.
For the spouse that's on the other end, you need to be affectionate in such a way and so understanding in such a way that they know, like, it's okay that they opened up to you. It's okay for them to feel that way, but it's okay to let it go, just you have to be there for them. And it's some people, it's hard for them to be there. I remember when he wasn't ready to hear about something that I went through, he was like, "If you would have told me that before we got together, we might not be together right now." And I'm just like, "Really?" But then he realized, like, "Hey, I shouldn't have said that. That was not your fault at all."
It wasn't your fault, guys. It's not your fault what happened a long time ago, man.
Right.
Well, we can have it better nowadays. Don't let that stuff intrigue your mind so much that you're captured, you're imprisoned by that circumstance of what happened. What happened to you was not right, but it does not have to affect your affection for your spouse.
Right.
You don't have to be there. Don't have to be there. And then our last one here.
I think the same thing. Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Give your spouse the attention they need. Right. They need. Look, I had it. I can speak on this one a little bit because look, women are beautiful, and I grew up with just all kinds of negatory towards women. And so as I'm trying my best to be with my wife, some of these things, you're looking at naked women, you're looking at pornography, you're looking at that chick over there, because we'd be at the beach, right, or swimming pool or something like that. You're looking at that chick over there, I caught you looking, and all this stuff in a two-piece bathing suit and stuff. Look, give your spouse the attention they crave. That's not too hard. What you're doing that she's totally pissed off about, knucklehead, is what you need to give her attention on. You got with her because she wasn't ugly, right? You got with her because she was fine as red wine. Yes. And so you need to understand, 25 years later, she's still the same fine woman that you laid your eyes on 25 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Give them what they crave. She craves the same amount of touch that she gave me that day. She craves it herself. She craves for me to give her statements about her makeup and her hairdo and the outfit she's wearing, and just give her certain ideas about this and that and the other. They crave these things. She also craves that when she has an issue, for me to just shut up and listen. She craves for me to listen instead of jumping off the hand and tell her, you need this, you need to say this, you need to do that, you need to do this. She craves for me to listen. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe it's the wife not wanting to listen, but only a few seconds, and then overpower your husband and say, "Hey, this is what you got to do. This is what's got to be said. This is what's got to be done." No. What attention does your spouse crave?
Right. You have to be, always be up to par on that area.
Yeah.
Because if you're not given what they need, if someone else just innocently comes and does it,
wow,
they're gonna be like, "Ooh, I'm missing that.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that type of touch."
I wish my husband would touch me like that.
Right.
Or I wish he would talk to me like that. I wish he would call me sweetheart. You know,
if you're not getting it at home, then it happens somewhere else. That just opens up a realm of temptation for the spouse, which is, you know, like not saying that they're going to go off and do it. That should never be a reason for them to go off and do it. But it just opens up a realm, that opens up a door.
Yes, indeed.
If you're not giving it, like what I was really, you know, what did I say earlier? It was, don't let the marriage end or the adventure of marriage end after the honeymoon. We didn't ever have our honeymoon, but still. Don't let it end. Like, everybody has a honeymoon and they just want to go to their normal lives and routine this and this is how it is. And no. You're just starting your adventure. You're starting a new chapter with your person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. It does not have to be boring.
It does not have to be boring.
If you always pay attention to what your spouse is craving and give that to them, man, keep it spicy.
Keep it spicy.
Look for new ideas. It doesn't always have to be the same. You know, like, get creative.
Yes.
We've been together going on 25 years in December. Thank you, Jesus. About to be 15 in August, married.
Yes.
Like, wow.
That's a big accomplishment, man. Yes.
It's like, that's a long time.
Yes.
So best believe we've had to get creative in some things
to
keep the spark alive in our marriage.
It can't stay the same, nor can it be stagnant the whole time y'all are
I do not want to be boring. Come on now. I want to be out there,
old
lady dancing in the street. And if babe don't want to dance with me,
oh, man.
I'm going to be out there dancing by myself.
I tell you guys, man, keep the sparkle up, man. Keep the flame going. When the flame dims, hey, grab some gasoline, some kerosene or whatever, and alcohol, and throw it on that little flamers to create a big flame somehow or another. Keep your spouse wanting more, guys. Keep your spouse wanting more. And know the difference between your spouse's touch and a stranger's touch. Know that. If the stranger is not in danger and is actually causing some type of affection in a way that your spouse is not giving to you, maybe that's a sign right there for you to talk to your spouse and say, hey, why don't you touch me a little bit more? Or, you know, we should already know what the spouse needs. Yes.
Right. Communication. You have to communicate. If you feel like there's a lack somewhere, communicate it to your spouse because your spouse might not even know it.
Right.
Communicate.
Yes.
Communication rules a nation, like they've always said.
Communication rules a nation. That's
right. And it really does. Communication is a big part of marriage.
Yes.
Every single day is communication. You know, if you have expectations on you as a husband or a wife in your daily lives, and something is going to be off for that next day, communication. Just like, okay, for instance, he comes home for lunch. I know I got to have a little something ready for him around maybe 1 o'clock. We communicate about it. If I'm not going to be here, say I'm going to go out and spend the day with my sister or something, I have to communicate and let him know, babe, you got to do this or that for lunch. I'm going to be out and about. If I don't communicate that to him and I just leave the house and nothing, he's going to be like, how come you couldn't tell me you're going with your sister? Now what am I supposed to do for lunch? I could have went and grabbed me a burger over here or something, but now I can't because my whole lunch is gone because I'm over here at home thinking you have something ready for me.
Yep.
So, like, that would be bad communication right there.
Bad communication.
Bad energy giving off right at the back.
Bad energy,
you know? Always communicate with your spouse what needs to be done. You know, whether it's in the bedroom, whether it's just relationship-wise, just daily routine-wise, communication.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning again for another episode of Marriage Mondays, where we just want to interact with you guys and tell y'all on a daily what's been going on in our lives, just trying to help y'all out in y'all's lives, y'all's marriage, or something that can be used in y'all's marriage that helped us along the way, man. We just hope. We just hope. That's all we can do. Hope for better in your marriage, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your kids and whatnot, even with your relationship with yourself, your health, right? Hey, we thank y'all for tuning in, man. Check us out, man. We're gonna get better. I know we're getting better. It's just the beginning, but look, stay tuned for another episode of Marriage Mondays. Y'all have a good week, man. God bless y'all, man.